did a little damage yesterday, Keith Fustel, but yesterday's card was fine. But today's card is looking pretty nice today.
Yeah, yesterday was fine. I mean,
Yeah.
we caught our best bet, little
Yep.
Susan's Mule.
Mm-hmm.
Mancia, Carlos Mancia with another win. He had two
Yep.
wins on the card. That train just keeps rolling right along. We were around a lot of the races yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Just got beaten that early pick 3 ticket. Sorry about that. You got me. Good pick with Brittany's horse to get it
Sure.
done, right? The one horse. I needed Go Sherry Go to complete that pick 3 ticket.
Yeah.
You had a little trouble. Again, Go Sherry Go breaking slow, a kind of a wide, quick move early. Might have just taken a little starch out of that finish,
Sure.
but a good effort nonetheless. But we're back for the Saturday card. We want to welcome everybody here. Breakfast
Yes.
with Santa. Good crowd. I pulled in. I was like looking over. I said, "What's going on here?" I forgot breakfast with Santa. Hopefully, the kids and all the parents are having a great time. Stick around for the races today.
Absolutely.
We got you some presents. We got you some winners
Yes, we
here on
do.
this morning show, no doubt about it. So
And-
hopefully they came with some cash and we're ready to go.
Setting the scene for those possible presents. Ooh, nice temperature outside of 52.
Yeah.
Little breeze to just tag on along that, but dirt's looking good. Dirt's riding fast. Let's dive in. Let's get right into this card. I'm really going to be enjoying this card here today in this maiden claiming 45, kicking off that early pick 5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 2-year-old fillies. Keith, you have the number 6 on top in Dwelling Legacy. Brittany Russell, Javian Toledo, second-time starter for Brittany, deems pretty well.
I'm hoping to buck a little trend that happened yesterday. I don't think one horse won on the front end. Yesterday's card. A lot of horses were getting run down that last eighth of a mile. Dwelling Legacy, Brittany with 2 of them in here, comes off of the debut run back in late October at Delaware. It was okay. Took some play, 2-1 of her horses are going to take some play, but broke a little bit slow in that race. Got sent hard inside and never really got comfortable, I thought. Got caught in between horses, shifted out. I thought kept on willingly late. But to me, looking at this field, that race under her belt looks to be the controlling speed with a good break. This horse is kin to Peterson's Courage. Same connections, got this one done here a couple years ago.
Okay.
So Dwelling Legacy with a good break. I'd like to see Toledo on the front end. Now, the other Brittany horse looks to be probably going to be rallying from the back of the pack. Hopefully improves off the break. We've got video of that debut run for Cake Pop back on November the 23rd. And bet down to 4-5 by Munnings and just a little slow and then sandwiched. We're going to see it one more time out of here.
Clobbered.
Yeah, that wasn't too kind, was it? The old Cake Pop. What did she do?
Aw.
She didn't deserve that.
No.
None whatsoever. She's already 5 off the second last horse, but she ramps it up pretty good here from the 5/16 pole home. We're going to see this through the stretch, though. A little bit green, the white face. You're going to catch it there in the black and white silks. Through this final eighth of a mile, a little drift in, a little head, kind of coming up on that other horse. But all in all, tremendous recovery, I thought, when it was all said and done. Cake Pop, with that experience, should be tough. Running at the stablemate there, Dwelling Legacy.
That was just a green move, and as soon as Sheldon kind of got into her, then she really set to task. So you saw it there. 6-2-7-3, Keith. You go with Tiz Vino for Kenny Cox underneath. But they ripped the blinkers off today.
The blinkers come off. Okay try back in July, so I'm going to get a little past the last time out. I think this one has the ability just to kind of stay outside and chase and hold on for a piece. Couple firsters of note. You've got Amy Symphony into the mix by Mendelssohn. There's some breeding notes there on that one. Half to Ghoul's Night Out, which was a good horse. And I think there was another solid runner, Frechette, in that family. 4 out of 6 first-time starters out of this mare hit the board. So I like how you've got that
exactly,
one in there. Yeah, that's what turns you on to
Yes.
that one. And Concrete Phase out of Phase the Nation, a 7-time winner, topped at a 73. The Sid brand second, I think, in an allowance recently. That family's okay as well.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be a real surprise, Callie, if one of these firsters jumped up and stole it.
We'll find out in race number 1. Race number 2 kicks off that early pick 4, and it is in this claiming 10,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 going 2 turns here on the dirt. No scratches here, Keith. You go with 1 loss to Olas, of course, in the barn of Jerry Robb. Alexander Crispin ships in for the ride today.
Yeah, out of that race on the 24th of November, where we saw the inside pretty good, the 23rd, 24th, 25th, speeding inside. Was where you kind of what you wanted to get for your runners. 1 loss, Olas was caught wide. I thought kept on trying, and Crispin with Rob, it's been a good combination, a lot at Delaware, but I think he can work out a trip with this filly from the back of the pack, draft in, hopefully save a little bit more ground and use that grinding style of run to get it done at the 2 turns where she has won before. You go to the rail, your top selection. I like my sister Nancy. The blinkers went on 2 starts ago for Jay Williamson and Salzman Jr. A real gritty try, like 2 moves in that race, 2 back, just to miss late.
Right.
And last time got on the best part of the track and was able to control it. Things might be a little bit more dicey up front with Please Marry Me just to the outside, who's going to bring some flow, possibly miss Fussy Pants. But I think the blinkers, that's been the key. She's shown the ability to rate if she needs it. I think she's right back. Good to see Jay up at Greenmount Station the other day, slipping in there for a little simulcast action.
Okay, well, hi, Jay. Appreciate it. 7143 for Keith Fusel there, kicking off that early pick 4. Now, race number 3 doesn't start anything, but this is a nice enough maiden claiming 45, going 2 turns on the dirt for the straight 2-year-olds. Scratching the 2, D Majestical. You go with the 1 and the 4. Yeah. We have a highlighted video on both of those, Glass of Courage and Bryson's Option.
Yeah, both of them out of that race on the, what was that, the 29th?
Yes.
Yeah, of October. Both ran pretty well. Bryson's Option was coming off of that race where it had a lot of trouble. This time he decided to go to front. He battles a long, long way. But Glass of Courage, who's had some issues out of the gate in the first 2 tries, just keeps kind of grinding it out each time. I think the blinkers going on here is going to be the key. Smaller sample, but a good percentage for Phil Capuano with that move. We've got Barbosa. We've got an inside post at 1:16. This one's in the race early and stays around as well. 1-4. The 3's an interesting type. We've got the same 4, Callie. Get Like Mike. Sluggish start, 6 wide at the quarter, 5 wide at the quarter last time. Yeah. But by Midnight Storm, we're going to stretch out here to 1:16 off the sprint. 17% for the Stallion dirt routes. Kind of against the grain on the 24th, caught wide, but finished on with interest. Would maybe like to see one more race under its belt, but I think as a user here with Karamanos in a shorter field.
There we have it. 1-4-3-6 for Keith Fusel in race number 3. Race number 4 kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6. And a special ticket that we have we'll get to in a second. Okay. But let's just carry through. You see this race differently, but I go in on Bob Marco. Bob Marco was slated to run in the Claiming Crown, but opts to run here. So that's just the information that I have on Bob Marco. But race number 5 and race number 7 and 9. 5, 7, 9, 2 deep. And then race number 6, we touched on this really quickly, Keith. Race number 6, a lot of different ways you can go there in that Jackpot Super High 5 race. And in race number 8, our feature race of the day. But a $32 ticket. I'm actually really looking forward to Whitty and North Highland team just kind of deucing it up against each other there in race number 7. $32 ticket. Definitely a fun card that we have here today. Keith, let's talk about your middle pick 4.
Okay.
I'm curious why a middle pick 4 for this sequence.
I just thought the early pick 4, just like yesterday, I wanted to keep it reasonable.
Sure.
Hence, here I go. I thought the early pick 4, I was going to have to spread a little bit further. You know, I'm all about the people. You know, budgets might be a little tight, saving a little extra for Christmas. You know, you want to take care of the people. But 2, 3, 6, 7, I'm going to go here. I do a $16 ticket. 4 deep to get you started. I can see Bob Marco here. I mean, he's been so good.
Sure.
You got a nice spot, 40,000. They opt to stay here at the track that he's proven on. So I don't see any issues with that. Right to the front with Bob Marco. He'll try to take him gate to wire. Race 5. We go 2 deep with the 3 and the 6 Emirates Affair. Race 6, another spread. 3, 7, 8, 9. We have a later scratch there. The 1. No Easy Days is out. So we go 4 deep in race 6. Wrap it up with a single, race 7. I, like you, also like North Highland. So if you want to go 4-8, make it a $32 ticket, go right ahead. But Whitty, if he brings any semblance of a good race, he's going to be really tough to deny from off the pace there in race 7. $16 ticket, the middle, pick 4.
There we go, and I go double that with a $32 for the Rainbow Pick 6. And let's get down to business here. What starts all of those tickets is the starter optional $30,000, going 1:16 on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. As mentioned, Keith, you have the number 2 though, Spear Gun, and let's take a quick look at Spear Gun from that last effort out on the 12th of November for Jamie Ness and Davian Toledo now.
Yeah, this was 3rd off the claim, first try at Laurel. Kind of the hand was forced a little bit down inside of a rival early on. Maybe got kind of thrust into the lead a little bit sooner. But, man, this guy, Uncaptured Storm, had the perfect trip. Hooks him. There's no give up whatsoever in Spear Gun. And I think off of that top figure can come back today from the inner post. I don't think, obviously, he's fast as Bob Marco. I don't think he wants to duel with Bob Marco. But showing that, be able to maybe work outside and get a stalking trip today or an inside-out trip, I think he can bring a finish and fight for you. 4 or 5 lengths in front of Clubman last time, and he was favored over stablemate What Does It Take with trouble at Delaware a couple races back. So I like this horse. I think Bob Marco, again, what will Ness tell his riders to do? Does one or both of them want to go after this horse early? Because if you do, it could be at your peril. You don't want him to get too far away. So similar styles with the 2 and the 6. I'm going to use both of them. The 6 has shown the ability in the past to sit off of it and make a move into it.
I 100% see Jamie Ness telling Jamie Rodriguez, go and try and intimidate this bug rider as much as you possibly can, especially being on the outside. If I were Jamie, that's exactly how I would play it. Bob Marco, he needs to get an early lead. So you could test the waters right there. But with you having a take on Spear Gun and just playing off of that fits extremely well with Toledo's style. So I absolutely see that with Spear Gun.
Yeah, no, I think it'll fit for him. And Uncaptured Storm came back to run a big number, ran an 86, which works with these. But Bob Marco has been very good. I talked about the race 2 races back. And he needs to break, though. He got a little lucky 2 races back. Broke, it's a little slow, rushed up. Last time out, broke better, was put right into it and handled that pressure. Repelled the next out winner. So this race, some really good horses. I can see your single, though. The road's going to have to go through him, so take your shot there with Bob Marco on the front. So I go 2, 6, 3, 7, though. You 3, 6, 2, 7. We get the same horses.
Yeah, they run. It's going to be an interesting setup between those top 3 horses, essentially.
And Most Perfect, who on his best day can definitely win. He's kind of worked himself back into shape, third off of a break. Finished very well against the bias last time out. So again, he would not be a surprise.
And there we have it for race number 4. Race at number 5 starts the late pick 5, and it is this allowance going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the girls 3 and up. Keith, we have similar tastes, but you have a nicer taste in the number 6 Emirates Affair, Robert Moscow, Sylvester Gonzalez. Let's go ahead and take a look at that Parks effort from last time out on the 21st of November.
A lot of the day of my day is going to hinge on this horse right here.
Okay.
I've caught a couple of these Parks horses shipping in. The horses that battle on the lead. Emirates Affair, we're looking at the 21st of November, most recent race, into a quick pace, battling just a little bit of a fade late. This mare, she tries. I mean, I know only 4 wins, 10 seconds, 5/3. She comes into a race at 7/8 of a mile. I think the flow is going to be perfect. I've seen these Parks horses that battle on that maybe a little bit heavier track stay on here. And I think I like this post here. Company lines work. A good break. They bring the jockey right to the front or just off of it. I think this one stays the trip here for Bobby Moscow. Moscow 0 for 8 the last couple years. We're going to break that streak today. Let's hope.
Okay, love it, love it, love it. You also have Western Lane underneath for Kerry Bryan, Victor Carrasco. Kerry having a nice winner yesterday in Fun Loving Criminal, so we'll see if they can continue that barn trend.
Yeah, I mean, this barn is doing quite well with the dirt runners and turf to dirt. It's worked both times, right? The last 2 times this horse has gone turf to dirt, it works. Might need a little bit of help, but I think the run will be there for Western Lane. Bella Bettina, another one, 7. She's had the flows kind of in front of her. She's out of some good races, though. I like the company. You see anonymously, we're going to see later. She's run against the right kind. 7/8 suits her. She'll rally into it. And obviously the Ness entry. Both parts, do we get any rider changes on the 1 or 1A?
Let me double check. Jamie Rodriguez on the 1A.
Okay.
Actually, no, we don't have any. We're going to have a late jockey change,
Okay, we'll get
I feel
that.
like, on that.
Yeah, I didn't get that yet. Okay.
Barbosa is on the 1, and on the 1 in Patty Cake. So
Perfect,
we
thank
just
you.
didn't. Maybe they were just late.
I was probably late. I just missed it. I
Same.
whiffed it, I'm sure. So no, but I think the entry's good. A bomb possibly underneath 3rd, 4th. Loving Cup. I know from that Penn race, but I was impressed with the race 3 races back with the trouble at Laurel.
I see it. First impression, I had that horse underneath on my ticket as
Yeah.
well as Bella Bettina. So just there we have it. So
Everything hinges, Callie,
Yes.
on the 6 horse for me.
pretty much.
Okay.
So 6 at 3, 5-1-8 for Keith Fustel, race number 5. We will be right back after this commercial to talk about Saturday's card and to start off that jackpot super high 5.
Thoroughbred Racing is taking vital steps to make our sports safer. These include the use of independent veterinarians, strict anti-doping and medication controls, and a single national authority empowered to create uniform standards and enforce reforms. With each step, more data is gathered, accountability demanded, and progress made as safety takes the lead. Visit ntra.com/safety for more.
Keith, I thought we were going to be a little bit more all over the board on this one, but race number 6 claiming $16,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3, 8 furlongs, 1 turn mile on the dirt. And this is our jackpot super high 5, also our late pick 4. Scratching the 1, the rail horse, no easy days. Keith, I had this, and we just had this conversation about a different race, but I had this one originally underneath. You have this one on top in Runyon-esque here in the barn of Eddie Graham, Horacio Caramanos. You have a nice special little stat for us, I believe, on this one.
With that firster that won on the turf a
Yes.
few weeks ago, had a big number and a big run from the back of the pack. But hey, he can train turf. He can train dirt runners here, Eddie Graham. Last 3 years, I know it's not a huge sample, but he's 32%.
Doesn't need
15
one.
for 19 in the money. That ROI is what grabbed my eye. I think just a little bit of a bounce. This is going to be third off of a break. Ran very big off the break. 69 buyer figure at Penn going a mile and 70. You got Caramanos. You've got plenty of speed in here. I can see this one being able to draft over, and this horse is 2 for 2 at Laurel Park. So sitting somewhere mid-pack, if you want to envision it, you're fairly new to the racing. I always like kind of give people the picture of how these races are going to hopefully set up.
Yep.
We're not always right, but we're gonna give you something. But I think Caramanos would be wise to just glide this one over by the time they hit the far turn, let things develop. But I think he will bring a finish Runyon-esque here off of a little bit of a bounce at Penn National last time out.
There we have, coming back off of that bounce on the outside for number 9, Runyon-esque. And you also include my Mamba for Chucky Lawrence, Martina Rojas, 8 to 1 morning line. We're taking a rewind at that last time out here at Laurel on the 1st of December.
A fairly good setup. The speed was there, 23-1, 46-4 for that level, the 16 down to 12. What caught my eye, it might be a slight optical illusion, was this last 16th of a mile. Once Martina gets this one off the rail, she finishes up quite well. Maybe things are starting to work for her. I know she's had 16 races, but that was one of the better finishes I've seen from this gelding. So I think my Mamba Rojas, we talked about on the show, she really kind of thinks out a race well, will be able to save ground. Things will be going on, quite honestly, up front. I think with K by See You Later, the 2, the 8 Running Rivers, certainly the 11 Cloud Music. It'll be just sit inside, sit patient, let things kind of unfold. I think this one brings a finish at an okay price. I like your selection here on top.
What about Steel Money for Rudy Sanchez Solomon? Yomar Ortiz gets the call. The barn has been simmering up pretty decently in these past several weeks.
Out of that same race is my mom, but just didn't quite get going as well. We talked about the owner-trainer combo yesterday.
Yes.
They were like 35-40% over the last month, so you can't really dismiss that one. Running River, kind of an angle like my sister Nancy. The blinkers went on a couple races back, a stretch out, and it worked. A really good effort. I've always liked this guy. He's battled through some pretty brisk paces in those sprints. He was able to kind of relax and control the 2 races back, but didn't fade too terribly on the turf. Coming back, I think, again, with Toledo, possible rating gear just outside of Cloud Music, go on the attack around the turn and see how long he can go through that long run to the second wire.
9378 for the jackpot super high 5 race 4 Keith Fustel there. Race number 7 is an allowance optional 40 going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up, scratching the 1A perfect day. You and I both have Witty, of course, and let's go ahead and take a look back in April back at Laurel here going through that same distance.
You're sitting here and you're looking at Witty, and I'm looking at the conditions of the race. I'm like, how is he eligible for a 2 other than, right?
Yeah.
But with all the state breds and all these restricted, conditions, he's able to do it. And Witty, he's run most recently on the turf, but he is no slouch at all on the dirt. And this race back here on April the 13th is going to show you why. 3 wide, a little advance between horses here mid-stretch, and really finishes up quite well. You look at the company lines, Wonderwork Craigers, Baracho, really stout runners. 7, 8. I'm sorry. This race here
Six
was 6 furlongs, and we're back at the 6 furlongs today. Again, flow. Top Boss has got to go. You're going to think Back in the Woods likes to lay fairly close. Even the Perfect Day, the other speed was scratched out of here, the part of the entry for Ness. But man, if he's able to sit clear, and if he's 3 or 4 out of it, ramping up mid-turn, he's going to be tough to deny through this stretch. Always like Woody. Great family here for Lizzie Merriman.
It's so funny because when he was winning here in the wintertime and he started to make his turf campaign, we all were kind of like, is he going to like the turf? Is he? Because he was running so well on the dirt during that winter campaign. So it's just funny. And now that he's had this wonderful turf campaign, it's like, oh, is he going to like being back on the dirt again? And you and I clearly both think he's going to have no problem with that. But let's talk about some others in this race. You and I both go with North Highland underneath, cutting back in distance for Hammy Smith and Sheldon Russell.
I think out of a good field, got him at 12-1 last time, closed in a couple lengths, only beating a couple there. Won't get 12-1, unfortunately, Dave, but look at the progress this horse has made in recent races. He is thriving right now, back with a bullet. I think he could be in similar situation position-wise, leaving the 3/8 as Woody. Maybe they run as a team, but they're going to both make runs into this flow.
The number 7 you have underneath, just for fun, we have to discuss Back in the Woods for Corrales Cruz. Decent enough effort last time out against. I like the stretch out too from the 5.5 to the 6.
Yeah, there's Top Boss again. Back on the 23rd, Top Boss has had a race since. Top Boss has been busy. It's the 4th race here in a month. But Back in the Woods again, November 23rd. We hear us time and again. We're going to keep repeating it probably for the next month or so because of the way the track played. 4 wide on a rail day. Kept on trying is my comment. This horse, when he's on his game, and he looks like he might be hedging back to one of those better efforts, he can sit in rate and make a move into it at the 6 furlong distance. So we go 4.872. Awfully short price here on Woody. I think he can get it done against this group. If he brings a B-plus effort, it should be good enough. But North Highland, man, has he really improved dramatically for Hammy Smith and my man Lee Christian down there. I'll see him at the Ellery Trials.
There we go. We'll see how North Highland stacks up against Woody here in race number 7. Race number 8 is an allowance optional 40,000. Another nice setup here, a 5.5 on the dirt. Very competitive girl group for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you and I still both land on Super Renee. Morning line 8 to 5. Kieran McGee, Carlos Lopez. Taking a look the last time that this filly was over here at Laurel back in early October.
Yeah, perfect on the dirt for Kieran off the claim, and had a little trouble in this race that we're showing here on October the 6th. You see that shuffle into the turn? He's going to be able to regroup, move inside rivals with Martina Rojas, angle out, and just reel in Sweet Shugs with a good solid run this last 3/16 of a mile. Sweet Shugs is quick. She's going to be up there on the engine again today. We'll see her today. Might get a little bit more pressure. But Super Renee rolls right on by. Kieran doing a tremendous job with this one off the claim for Hinder Holdings. You've got Carlos Lopez today. That race at Charlestown last time in the 2 other. Then heads back for the tag. Did have a little trouble out of the gate, and they didn't quite catch it, but had a little stumble out of the gate. Had to use 4 wide early, so overcame that adversity, going 2 turns back to the 1 turn today. Shorter price, yes. 3 anonymously, why not? Has won 3 in a row. 4 of its last 5. Another inside-out trip, I think, is in the works. This horse is loving Laurel. Andre Savas should be able to sit somewhere mid-pack inside. Doesn't have to be worried about caught wide, I don't think. When he decides to make that move, may shift out, but I think the form right here is deadly for this 3-horse.
What about Violent Vixen? Charlton Baker, Angel Cruz, 7-2 morning line. I kept trying to I was just trying to see what I could go for as far as value in here. We come up 7-2. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think she'll sit around that level. Blinkers last time out, 3 deep. Pochi Bonsi beneath the stars, horses that have been really razor sharp of late here at Laurel Park. I think 5.5 is going to work. Again, I think she'll get that set up stalking trip. She's not quite as quick as Sweet Chugs if the 4 breaks, but I think I'm going to definitely have her in the exacta underneath. I'm not going to use her I don't think I'm going to have her on top. But I think she can definitely make an impact. She's going to make that move by probably quarter pole. She hasn't quite been finishing, but I think she still works in here. It's hard to leave her out of those exotics.
Enough to make a presence here in
Oh
this race.
yeah, no doubt about it. Yep.
There we go. 8-3-6-4 for Keith Fustel in race number 8. And our finale here on Saturday is, of course, a maiden claiming 12.5 going a 1 mile on the dirt. For me, that distance at this level just makes it that much more intriguing. For the girls, 3, 4, and 5. But you and I still land on the number 7, Marley's Ghost. Even money for Mike Trombetta. Martina Rojas gets the chance on this one yet again.
Yeah. I mean, you're at the end of the day. I mean, if she comes anywhere close to that last race, I know we're going 1 turn, not 2 turns here, but looking at positional speed with this group and everything, she should get it done. He's done okay with these odds on horses. I think she'll fall just below. Good line here at even. She might even fall below to like 4 to 5 or so, but 5 for 9 with those type of runners over the last few years with the maiden claimers, the favorites for Trombetta. So yeah, on the lead or just off of it, I think is going to get it done. If you're looking for a little bit more value, maybe the 5, maybe the 2's not going to bring a ton.
No.
Rodman up there liked the 6 a little bit. I kind of glazed over our brew. I'm just going to throw that one out there if you're looking to add into the superfectas. Our brew in there. If I go 7, 5, 2, and 1, I just couldn't come up with a ton in the nightcap.
Fair enough, as we see our first 3 similarly here in our finale on Saturday. Keith, let's dive in a little bit more into your picks. Let's start with your best bet in the race number 5, 5 to 1 on the number 6 Emirates Affair for Moscow and Sylvester Gonzalez.
Yeah, bringing the rider down. I like that. I like the draw. I just think she comes out of tougher races and she fights. This little bit of relief, I think, is going to get her over top. If she breaks well, she's into the race early. If the haunted room maybe wants to go from the outside, fine. But, man, if she's controlling it under a little bit of a nursing hold at 3/8, I'm going to love my chances. See if we can get anything close to 5 to 1.
And you give us 2 value plays of the day here, both in race number 6. In the number 3, My Mamba at 8 to 1 for Chucky Lawrence, Martina Rojas, and the number 9 at 6 to 1, Runya Anesk for Eddie Graham and Horacio Caramanos.
Well, we saw yesterday the track. Horses were closing in, no horses going wire to wire. A race with some speed. The 2K by See You Later, Cloud Music are quick. Both of these to save some ground. I think My Mamba might be a little bit further back. But I know Martina Rojas is going to find the inside and work a ground-saving trip to enhance the finish. So I think both these horses, if they stay close 6, 8 to 1, which I think they're going to be right around there, can really kind of make an impact through that last 3/16 of a mile and help you out and boost those exactas.
Man for the people, Keith Fustel helping you out with his picks there as we go to Dave Rodman, voice of Maryland Racing, for some more changes and scratches here today. Thanks, Keith.
You got it. Good luck.